Hello, and welcome to another transmission from the Velvet Revolution. Whoever, wherever, whatever you are, hope we find you well on this morning for us, and I hope you find us in whatever time you need us. It's a tough world out there at the moment, and we appreciate you making a choice to listen to us and seeing if we can give you some help along the way. Take what you need and leave the rest. So welcome, Dave Noble. How are you doing today?
I'm right, man. Are you starting to improv on that? This is a thing. It's staying, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. And did you add? Is there an extra layer to the last one that you did?
Well, I'm just sort of riffing. I've written like a little bit, like I did last week, and just trying to make the intro as not as powerful as I can.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, yeah. I like it. So we're sort of playing around, aren't we? A little bit.
Mm.
I was just hitting you up like you surprised me last week with your new little intro. I've moved from my desk seat area my cockpit. I've actually come back to what feels like a what's them big Cadillac. I've got like I feel like I'm sitting in a Cadillac right now on my leather um I think it's called a cozy seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's built for two.
Mm-hmm.
But today it's just me
Okay.
and yourself on my cozy seat. Yeah.
Are you
So
sitting cross-legged, or do you just
I've
look like you are?
I've got one leg down, one leg up,
Okay.
barefoot on my sheepskin. No one can see, so I've got a sheepskin rug, which my left foot is planted in and kind of having a little bit of a foot party in there because it's really nice and grounding. I mean, this is going to be my new setup for my everything I do relating to screens.
Hmm.
And I'm not wearing my glasses, which I need for this is the thing, right? Um, I never needed glasses, right? When I started to cut hair, when I was learning to do the craft of cutting hair, um, I I had an eye test which I remember they said, yeah, you're short-sighted, is it? Where no, hang on, which is the one where you need it for close-up stuff?
Yeah, short-sighted.
Yeah. And so I started wearing them, but through not wearing them and just hanging in there and cutting hair, I actually went back, did another test, I had 20/20.
Okay.
Right. So I don't know what happened, but anyway, that was years ago. And then because of screens, I don't know if anyone relates to this, but screens have fried my eyes, man. I mean, you do see a lot of younger people now wearing them big old lenses,
Hmm.
like Thunderbird. Is it Thunderbirds? Is that
Yeah.
there a
Yeah.
character in Thunderbirds that wears like TV
Brains.
TV screens for
Mm.
goggles? Like Brains, that's his name, isn't it? Brains, yeah. Um, but I've been wearing yeah, me glasses for all things screens, and even reading instructions, on packets of food or something, and you're like, oh fuck, I need my glasses. It's one of them. So this is a bit of an attempt. I will report back on this of how I go. I'm now sitting. I would say, well, my screen's on the back wall. I'm on the other back wall of the room, sitting on here, looking at you on my big screen,
Hmm.
and but I've got a good, you know, um, positioning where I feel really far removed. I don't have to wear my glasses. I've not got any eye strain. I feel comfortable. I've got sheepskin poking through my toes. So,
You're living the dream.
so I'm confident that I might be able to. I'm confident that I will improve my eyes. It's just now my phone I've got to get rid of.
Right. Okay.
That's the fucker is having a phone, which is how can you use your phone from a distance? which is what I was doing before I got my glasses because I had to like be like, reading menus like that. Do you need glasses, sir? No, no, no. It's how I read my menus all the time. You know. Um, anyway, yeah, I'm good. I'm in good spirits. I celebrated another year on this planet yesterday.
Hmm.
So
Congratulations. Happy birthday.
thank you. Every day is a celebration of life for me.
Hmm.
I didn't really do anything really. I didn't. There was no standout thing for me. I had a Thai themed day.
A Thai themed day.
Yeah, inadvertently, I didn't plan out to do it. Well, I did.
Is that Thai as in the country, or were you wearing a tie for the day?
Geographical.
Geographical. Okay.
So I did plan it because in the morning, well, I planned half of it because in the morning I booked in to have a massage with uh,
Hmm.
my Thai lady. I normally have like if I can, not every Friday, but at the end of the week, Thai rub down. Take that as you want. It's all legit and above board. And so I booked in to have that in the morning to start my day, which is a really beautiful day.
Hmm.
A beautiful thing to do to start your day. I normally have them at the end of the day because I get so zoned out from them that you don't really want to be doing anything after it,
Yep.
really, apart from lying on a beach or something. But I had it in the morning, and Have you ever had a massage? Firstly, of
Yes. Yes.
course
Many
you have.
massages. Yes.
Have you ever had one in the morning?
I'm sure I have. Yeah.
And
And
can you remember what happened?
no, I can't say it's had any major effect on my day.
Well, like you end up just walking around a little bit like a zombie, like a little
Okay.
bit with your head in the clouds a little bit, or I do anyway. So, but I ended up going to a really good Thai restaurant, which is down here in the afternoon
Hmm.
for a sort of like a post-lunch Thai feast, and so that's what sort of turned it into a Thai themed day for me.
Nice.
And I nearly watched the bridge over the River Kwai last night to round it off, but I didn't. I didn't. Anyway, in good spirits. I feel like I'm in good form. Life is good. Um, yeah, I'm excited to be on here and to see
Hmm.
you. And yeah, that's me. What about you? Oh, and my bike perversion continues. Yeah, which I'm
Yeah.
excited about. I
Any
think
bike
that's
updates?
I spoke to a good old mate of mine, another good old mate of mine, Dan. Hi, Dan, and he was, oh mate, he goes, oh my god, really? Oh, I've been thinking about doing it for 3 years. 3 years I've been fucking fantasizing about going off on a bike and camping, while camping on a bike. He goes, I'm gonna go and get one. I'll buy one. I'll get one, and I'll do a test, and we'll go on a trip.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, boy, it's happening.
You're
It's happening, man.
starting your own bike gang,
Yeah, outlaws.
the wild ones.
Not the outlaws because we get in trouble from the outlaws, but
Yeah.
um, yeah. So and I got caught out yesterday at a red light. A woman was behind me and she prompted me. She like beep beep on her horn because I was just totally gone. I was intoxicated, having a bike perv. There was a bike and I was perving on it, and suddenly this horn just abruptly pulled me out of my fixation. It's like a fucking green light. So that's where I'm at with that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
this going to last, do you think? Is this going to be
Yeah,
a
it will.
life
Yeah,
thing?
of course. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
just a couple
No,
of months obsession.
no, 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 no. And my the guy, there's a couple that live in one of the houses just diagonal to me, and they're like a doctor and a psychiatrist. I can never remember which one is which,
Hmm.
husband and wife. And they know I've got it in the garage and they're sunrides. So, they're very aware that, you know, people ride bikes. And I was going up the private track that leads to where these houses where we live. I was going up the private track, which in theory I'm legally allowed to do on my bike.
Mhm.
If there's any cops listening, correct me if I'm wrong. Join us at the velvetrevolutionpod.com
Yeah.
and I'll behave. But so yeah, you go up the track and it's enough I can get up to third gear now. So it's long enough for me to it's a straight driveway, private bit of track.
Okay.
So I'm managing to learn the 1 2 3 3 2 1 gear change on the shift.
Hmm.
And I'm getting pretty slick at it. And I'm self-taught at this point. And I've not even done my test, so it's good. It's sort of I'm getting bit of muscle memory in. And I kind of took it out onto well, when you get to the end of the track, there's a T junction, and it's not the main road. It's another little lane that goes to
Okay.
the main road. And yeah, I kind of got to the point. I always took it to the end and then turned it around and then just shot straight back down to my property. And the other day I sort of thought, it's not about. I'll just just go up there a little bit and just sort of, get on some proper tarmac and see what it feels like. And just as I'm rolling, I wasn't going to go far, and I was just going to turn
Hmm.
around and come back, and because I didn't have a lid on, didn't have anything on, and the dude was coming towards me in his little van, and he just looked so disapproving. He, when you get that look of
Yeah.
disapproval, and I
Yeah.
thought, oh, and my heart sunk. I thought, oh
Uh,
no, he thinks I'm a dick.
yeah.
He clearly thinks I'm a fucking idiot, which I kind of was. I
Okay.
think I was for doing that.
No, yeah, I think the excitement, the
Yeah,
adrenaline got the better of you.
yeah,
You're just trying something out.
yeah. It's like you get a new kite,
Yeah.
or no, it's like getting what are them things you fly off the cliffs with that are like that. Like not a kite, but a human kite. What you hold on to them, paragliders.
Like a glider, yeah.
And you see people down. I see them down at the certain places like where they're not going off a cliff. They're just going off of like a bank of a field or something which is raised, and they're just trying out the thermals and
Okay.
the winds and the weight and the technique. It's like I'm doing that,
Hmm.
but in my mind, have I just jumped off the cliff with it? Not really.
No.
Just sort of bombing around a little bit. But anyway, disapproving glare, and I haven't seen him since. And I'm sort of like, oh no, should I make a thing out of it and say sorry? That's where my head goes with shit like this. What's all that about? Do you reckon?
Well, it's obviously a little bit of, you don't want to disappoint people. I think that's the kind
Yeah,
of person you are. A little bit of guilt
yeah,
there, a little bit of shame.
yeah. I just want people to like me, don't
Yeah.
I? Mm,
Not think you're a dick.
yeah, because I don't want that. But does anyone want that? But then there's a voice in the back of my head that's sort of also like, two fucks, give a fuck, you know,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So, that anti-establishment rebel inside of me just wants to flip people off all the time, but I don't. This is what I'm sharing is there's something in me that actually deep down I just want people to. I want people's approval still, you know.
Mm.
Anyway, how are you? How are you? How are
How
you?
am I? I am. I'm good. Yeah, yeah. It's been a lovely weekend. Just trying to think what I've done. Oh, I had a works do on Friday.
Did you?
Yeah, we went to one of those places where you can do different games and stuff. And
um. Well, what sort of place was that, Mr. Rice?
well, you go to a leisure park and there's a place where you can do like different activities.
Oh. Mm.
And it turns out I'm really bad at axe throwing. So
Axe throwing. You
yeah,
went axe throwing
I went axe throwing.
with your work staff
Yeah.
or with the.
No,
proper.
not with the kids. No, but we did.
So
Yeah, yeah. I went axe throwing with the staff, and yeah, it was. Yeah, turns out I'm really not very good at it. So
bloody hell. I was going to say axe frame with if it was the kids as well. That's a bit sketchy, man.
yeah, that'd have to be really brave to do that.
Yeah, bloody hell. So that was good, fun, team
No,
bonding. Did you get on with everyone? Does everyone get on, or was there any sort of axes behind the backs creeping up on people
no,
vibes?
none of that. None of that. It was all fairly amicable. And yeah, and then yesterday did a bit of creativity. We've discussed this already. You know, you'd given me some. I'd done some work for the Velvet Revolution Instagram page, which I will be posting over the next week.
Hang on, you need to make a thing about this because, like, anyway, from my point of view, I'm proper anti fucking social media,
Mm-hmm.
anything, right? So you ain't getting me near that shit, as you know, thank fuck. But what? We've got an Instagram account.
We have an Instagram account,
Oh
and
God.
yeah, I will be posting bits and pieces from the podcast on there. And yeah, I've done some artwork, and obviously you'd given me some feedback, and I was like, no, don't like that. I was feeling very grumpy because I'd done a couple of hours
Ah,
on stuff.
you fucking precious little artists.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So
no, take it, right? It's constructive.
yeah.
It's not criticism. Stop with your artist filter because I've got it as well. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's I've learned that when people say, "No, that's not working," or "Nah, could maybe we could do this," it's not me saying you're fucking shit. That's just me saying maybe we could do this, and maybe this would work,
Yeah,
which is what I was saying.
yeah, I know.
But you heard it as,
Well, it's because
You're
I was
fucking
tired.
shit. You're
It,
fucking shit."
I was tired. I'd spent an evening doing it, and then it was like, nah, it's not very good. So, um, that's
Tough
yeah, that was
titties.
what had in my head. So, but no, I did some work on that, and I will be posting that up on our Instagram page over the next few days, so you can all see what we're doing.
And are you
And
going to put a link to it in the description of this?
yes,
Or rather, am I going to put a link to this?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
because
one?
you're now admin on this as well. So
Is that
yeah,
one of my duties?
yeah, that's
We're
one of your
delegating.
duties. Yeah,
Okay.
um, I'll be the precious artist, and you can be the admin.
I don't.
Uh,
Well, I guess, yeah, I don't give a fuck. It's just a
no.
label.
So yeah, I did that, and then I realised what a lovely day it was, and that I'd been on my laptop for a couple of hours, so I just went walking, which was lovely. And I walked for about 2.5 hours yesterday. Did
Mm.
about 15k. It was lovely, and it was helped by a friend of mine, John, had sent me through a album of drum and bass classics, which I did forward on to you. But it was one of those albums that just, when you listen to something and you just go, yeah, I want to keep listening to that. And it just sort of propelled me forward. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
I,
Metalhead's the label, Goldie, and I've forgotten who he does it with, but it was always very tough
mm,
drum and bass, wasn't it?
mm,
Still is.
yeah,
Gets you racing.
yeah. So yeah, like my average speed of kilometer was like about 30 seconds faster than it normally is, and I did a massive distance as well. So yeah, that was really nice. And then I got home and just collapsed because I realized I'd walked far too far, and was exhausted.
Cool,
So yeah,
man.
it's been good. It's been good. It's been a nice weekend.
Great. You seem to be in good spirits, good form.
Mm.
Excellent. Right, shall we oh no, before we start,
Okay,
can you do the honors? We got a bit of I bet you haven't got it up, have you?
what's that?
We got some comms.
Oh, the letter from Blaine.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find that. 1 second. Uh,
So we got some TVR love from a fellow who's been following us for a while now, Blaine. Thank you for your um, dedication to the cause. And he felt compelled, as he has done before, to articulate and share his experience.
mm.
So, what is it, Mr. Rice?
Hi, Dave and Ben. I just wanted to say a genuine thank you for the second series of the Velvet Revolution. It's been an incredible listen from start to finish. A few episodes really landed for me. The one on boundaries gave me a lot to think about, and the episode on compulsion hit especially close to home, as it's something I recognize in myself. Later in the series, patience and uptight really struck a chord too, in that quietly uncomfortable but ultimately helpful way that stays with you. That said, the whole second series has been phenomenal. It feels like it's grown in depth and confidence without losing what makes it so engaging in the first place. I can honestly say that I've started using TVR as a genuine tool for life, not just something to listen to, but something to actively apply. Also, the camaraderie between you both continues to be fantastic. There's a natural rhythm and warmth to the way you bounce off each other that makes it feel like you're being invited into the conversation rather than just hearing it. I'm really looking forward to season 3, especially with the new visual layer coming into play. It feels like things are evolving in a really exciting direction. Thanks again for putting this out into the world. It's making all the difference. All the best, Blaine. Thank you very much, sir. He is a genuinely lovely man. Thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, I think, like we always said, helping one person that we know of,
Mm,
we value the feedback. You know, I'm not sure the artist will be able to handle any uh, critique, but we're open to feedback, man. Absolutely. And so we're gonna have the Insta. God, I can't believe I'm saying it. The Instagram account, which I think people can. What do they say these days? Do you follow it? Is it a follow thing?
yeah,
Do you
it's a
follow it?
follow thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got the email you know which we just read out. When people want to send us a heartfelt letter, you can always mark it as anonymous. So join us at the velvetrevolutionpod.com. Right on. Okay, so shall we get into it? It's your turn,
I
Mr.
believe it is.
Rice.
Yeah.
It's your turn to pick, and we're on letter C
See,
because I did bondage.
you did.
Um, I I chose bondage, and we did bondage last week, Ben.
We
Me,
did
me,
it.
and you participated in bondage last week.
Yeah.
How do you feel that went?
Um, yeah, a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You was resistant.
I was resistant. I was like,
Yeah.
why the hell has he picked that? He's just being Dave. He's being a
Well,
little bit rebellious and a little bit cheeky, and but it turned into an interesting conversation. So I liked it. Um, C is huge. We could just do like a C season.
spin through them. Go for it.
Right, courageous, critical, cheat, cynical, contemptuous, compulsive, charm, conceited, contradictory, contented, compare, compassion, confusion, connection, coerce, concise, curiosity, controlling, cowardly, contrary, cynical, cheerful, candid, confident, closed mouth, consistent, considerate, conscientious, closed, crude, courteous, covert, catatonic, chaotic, catastrophic, calm, concern, clear, careless, cooperative, competitive.
Did you did you actually land when you read them? Did you connect to any of them whilst reading them?
No, because I was thought there's so
Right.
many here.
Can you just go through them again
Right, really slowly. This could be the whole episode. Me just
and
reading out.
just like it's important we get one that you just don't pick out the app randomly because
Hmm.
maybe that's me. But I think you like to connect to them more, don't you? Don't you?
Yeah,
Is that how
don't
you do
you?
it? I don't know. I mean, why did I choose bondage last week? I feel like sometimes I'm just led by the word. It's just like, oh, bondage. um, so anyone wondering why, how do we pick them? How do we pick them?
Well, I think, and I mean, my understanding of it is that we check in the formula without wanting to sort of, look under the lid too much and,
There's
look
not.
behind the
There's
curtain.
honestly, there's nothing there. There's nothing
What underneath the lid?
there's nothing there.
I think subconsciously we check in, and through that we have a certain feeling or sensation. And then
Maybe.
when we look at the letters and the words, we're like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, that
yeah.
connects.
I've never thought of that. I've never
So I
thought of
think,
that.
like I said, I don't want to sort of like make it formulaic, but I do think there is a formula subconsciously to it.
Okay, well, with that in mind, or maybe
Well,
not in
with that in
mind.
mind, the two that are standing out for me
Oh,
are critical and catastrophic.
oh, why?
Why?
Based on,
Because
based on,
because based on my ability to catastrophize,
yeah.
when there's any sort of critique.
Oh, so it's a dovetail.
Mm.
So, but we can't do them like that, can we? Or
No,
can we? Is
we
that a new
sometimes
thing?
we put others in, but like we can just choose one, and we can.
So, what one are you going with?
I'm going to go with what is it? I'm going to go with catastrophic,
Catastrophize,
catastrophize.
catastrophic.
Yeah,
Okay, nice word. Like it.
yeah, I like the word.
Okay, so we're going with that. Are you going to
Yep.
red line it? So we
Yeah.
done, done. All right. Where are we going to start with this one then?
So I am going to. The reason I picked catastrophic is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning. Is this idea that if someone or something uh, knocks me, then my ability to go to the worst place um, is exactly is very powerful. So it's like a default setting. It's like, oh, what's the worst that could possibly happen? I'm gonna go there, and that
Mm.
creates a freeze, but it also creates like it creates a sort of a seething sort of resentment as well. It creates like this sort of I wouldn't go as far as anger, but there's sort of like, oh, like a bitterness, like, oh God,
I'm there to say there is
yeah,
probably. I'm gonna, yeah, definitely
yeah,
knowing how this stuff works. Yeah, definitely. It's a hatred.
yeah.
There's hatred there.
I think I don't think I'd go as far as hate.
It's a strong word.
It is a strong
And
word,
it's
but I
just,
think I have done. I think I do at times.
and it's an,
If people keep on pushing you and keep on, you know, um, saying things that or doing things that just create like a negativity. Uh,
but is that your own bias perception that it is negative? How do you know it's not just them coming from a place of love?
well, I think there's two ways to think about that. There's the people that do love you that are giving you constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's there's people that are looking out for you and going, well, maybe have you thought about this? And we know the precious ego. I know my ego is very sensitive and it has, can be really touchy.
Hmm.
And even if I trust that person, It's sometimes difficult to hear negativity. And then there's other people that are just in your lives that are just draining, that their whole, so it almost feels like their whole sort of reason for being is just to push your buttons.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for me to get caught up in that sort of that drama triangle, if you like, where it's like, yeah, I'm just giving up because there's nothing I can do, and there's I'm just going to catastrophize, and I'm just going to get stuck in this sort of like negativity circle because this person just will not stop. And I feel like I feel like we give people their, it's like we're giving away our energy when we do that. It's like we're
Uh-huh.
saying to someone, you can have all of me, and I'm going to spend my whole time consumed by your behaviors. And I'm going, even when I'm not with you, I'm going to spend that time talking about it, thinking about it, discussing it with other people. And it's like, actually, normally those people are deeply unhappy themselves. They're like, they're normally, it's just like, I'm going to make everyone else's life miserable because I'm having such a rubbish time of it. And it's that whole thing about, well, just let them be, just let them get on with it, um, rather than getting caught up in this sort of like catastrophe, like, oh my god, it's the end of the world, I can't do anything, I just want to give up, or hate my life, all of those sort of negative spiral thinking.
Yeah. Naught to imminent doom.
Mm,
Naught, zero to imminent death in a split second.
yeah.
What? It's the end of the world. My life's over. Yeah. Yeah. I relate, man. I relate. I I was cursed with that attitude, mindset, perception. The lens from which I viewed my experience was truly warped. Why? Why is it? Why do we have that catastrophic, imminent doom in a drop of a hat, knee jerk reaction to life? Why are we so sensitive? Why? Why, Ben?
Why?
Why? Why?
I It always amazes me, and I'm always surprised by how some people have this incredible ability to just have a, you know like this shield, this ability just to rise above all of that. And those kind of people always amaze me. So it's almost like so many of us are caught up in this day-to-day struggle of, like, everything's wrong, this is bad, looking at the world through that very sort of like uh negative lens. And then
Yeah,
there's some people that can just like, no, it's not going to touch me. So
yeah.
it's almost like it. Why are those people able to just brush it off? Is
Well,
that is that like a sort of confidence thing? Is that like a sort of almost like
it,
an arrogance?
yeah, but how do you know, how do we know that these people are so in control of it? How do we know? That we present what we want to present, right?
Mm,
They can appear to be really confident in their demeanor, of their how they conduct themselves. But how do we know? How do you know that what's going on in their internal dialogue? How do we know what's going on in how they truly really feel or how they
mm,
truly think? It's just what they present. So we don't actually really know. And even if they just say, yeah, just because they say so doesn't mean it is so. You know what I mean? These sort of people could be at home, you know, they could be absolute fucking maniacs behind closed doors. We don't know. So we can only focus on it is for us. Um, what's our experience of it,
Hmm.
and how are we affected or not? You know, how do we manage and compose ourselves in life in these circumstances? You know, when we're under pressure or we're exposed, because it's about exposure to things that we can't control.
Mm.
So yeah, I really relate to this subject, this topic. You know, I was greatly affected by it. Um, Very sensitive child. Um, you know what I checked in with about the whole. I just want people's approval, man.
Well, I was thinking that as well, just as you said that about the, what does that guy think of me because he saw me on my bike and I was,
Yeah, but I mean, it's a passing thought. I don't let it trouble me.
but I, yeah,
I'm just
okay,
sharing it. I'm just
now,
sharing it.
now you don't,
No.
but there would have been a time where that would have
Yeah.
eaten you up for a period of time.
Oh God, yeah. I would have been greatly affected by it, and
Mm.
I would have attached to it, and I would have clung onto it, and it would have manifested into a bigger thing, and a bigger thing, and a bigger thing. And when you add not just the doctor next door who's giving me a disapproval look, and it might have not been in reality. When I talk to him, he might say, "Oh." Um, he might say the absolute opposite of what I perceived. He might say, "Oh wow, I was, I'm not surprised I saw you out on your bike. You know, be careful." He might, it might not have been how it was. It's just how I
Yeah.
perceived it. I'm being biased to it. My mind is automatically creating a narrative that might not actually be accurate. So, but I don't attach to that stuff. Now, when you do attach to that sort of stuff, I was just sharing it that, oh, that's what played out and that's what I've experienced at that moment. But I didn't
Hmm.
like carry it, and I'm sharing about it, but I'm not holding on to it. And it's processed even more for me sharing it. And that's it. It's gone. Don't worry about it. Moved on. But um so I'm doing what you're saying those people do, that I'm not
Mm.
affected by it. Now, my reality behind closed doors, maybe I am chewing my toenails off in anxiety over it, but I'm not. I know what I'm doing and I'm not doing that. But I used to. And it's not just one person. Think if you've got every time you go out your house and you've got situations where you have those sort of things happen wherever you go, and you go, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or
Mm.
oh, I could have just done it this way, or oh, I wish I could have done this, or oh, it's that shoulda, woulda, coulda thing. And if you are living your every moment in life, doing social interactions with life and people, trying to wish for a different sort of scenario to play out because you're not, because you're catastrophically obsessing about the things that are happening or haven't happened or have already happened, but you wish you'd done differently. And you've got loads of those things going on, and you're worrying about all of it, and you're attaching to all of it, and you're overthinking and getting anxious and stressed about all of it. Is it any wonder we end up, I don't know, it's like power drinking boxes of red wine every evening to try and numb it out,
Mm.
or whatever we're doing to try and switch that head off.
So two questions then.
Does that make sense what I'm saying though? Why
Yeah.
this is why we do medicate, and medication isn't just like a box of red wine a night. It's distracting ourselves to try and shut up that overactive, overthinking,
Mm.
critical, obsessive dialogue that's going on in the head that's trying to change every single thing and outcome that or interplay that we encounter. It's tiring, it's draining,
Yeah, it's
very draining.
exhausting. So on the back of that then, so there's two questions. One, when was the last time that you walked into a space and were anticipating like a level of negativity, like you'd already catastrophized that actually this was going to be an absolute car crash, or that you know that the people were going to be judging you in a certain way or thinking about you in a certain way? When was the last time that happened for you?
Oh, I always do it. So, for the record, I always think that
Okay.
it's a stock process that I believe, not just me,
Hmm.
you got to be a narcissist to have a component in your mind that thinks everyone loves me and I'm going to walk in and everyone's going to love me. You got to be a real freaking maniac to, you got to be completely deluded. You got to be in cuckoo land. Or you're just high on fucking drugs, or there's a level of delusion to your human experience to just assume that everyone's going to love you straight away,
Hmm.
or you get, or there's some neurodiversity that's your filter just sees the happiness and the love and light in everything, and you just everyone is a unicorn, and you're like everywhere you go is like a little pony that you can sit on and gently bounce along a little prairie on. It's like there's a level of disconnection or dissociation to reality. I believe. I'm not a
Yeah.
psychiatrist. I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm not a psychologist, but I know enough about human experience to know that the reality of most humans' um, experience and the way we relate to the world is that we do have a relative level of like a valid, rational level of anticipation to everything we do. Um, some worry, maybe some fear, um, uncertainty, doubt. Um, you know, um, half cup empty rather than half cup full. Oh, will they like me? You know, or will they or won't they like me when I walk into this party? Or or join this group of people for whatever I'm doing. Or you go on a date, and it's like, oh, I really hope they like me. I'm just gonna be myself, and everyone's just like, just be yourself, be yourself.
So, do you ever had the advice to just turn it down a bit? Don't be yourself completely.
No, no,
I think that's a good sign. That's like I'm
yeah,
just wondering when you're saying about like you had to be a complete narcissist to go into some place
yeah,
thinking that everyone's gonna love you. If anyone's turned around to you and said, "Yeah, just dial it down a bit," you're
yeah,
probably one of those.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, man, but like, I just think, anyone listening, do you feel, are you in that category that I'm saying you are in that category? I'm being very bold to say that. I just think it's very, you'd be an enigma to, and look, I've got high levels of healthy self-esteem now, self-worth,
Hmm.
value. I see myself, I look in the mirror and go, I like myself, I'm comfortable in my skin, I enjoy my company, and I know that I recognize that other people value me and value my company, and I'm not a bad person. I bring kindness and care to my relationships to the best of my ability. I don't always get it right, and I can be a bit of a twat sometimes, whatever. But on the whole, I'm a good person, right? So I feel that way towards myself,
Yeah.
and that's a beautiful thing. And I didn't always feel like that. I've had to work towards that. So I'm very aware that, um, with that being said, I still go into certain situations and be like, oh, you know, I just hope I get on with everyone. You know, it's just there in me. Now, if you're at home sitting there going, I just don't have that, then you've either got very high levels of self esteem and self worth and confidence, which is great. But I think it's actually really healthy to have some, you know, um, a little bit of anticipation, a little bit of worry, a little bit of not anxiety, although anxiety would be perfectly natural going into a situation. Oh, it's all right, man. But it's 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 being aware or knowing what is healthy and what's unhealthy levels of what we're talking about.
Mm.
Because, there's a fine line between healthy, rational levels of uncertainty, a little bit of worry or doubt, or, being scared of the unknown. That's okay. But then there's, on the flip of the coin, on the other side of that coin is, you're absolutely debilitated with anxiety, fear, irrational, like, they're all gonna like despise me, and I'm never gonna like no one's ever gonna like me, and I'm never gonna get the job, I'm never gonna get the girlfriend or the boyfriend or the husband or the wife, I'm never gonna get this job opportunity, you know you don't want to be one of those people that goes on the one that goes on holiday or gets invited to the stag or hen party, and they're like, oh God, they're coming, really? You know what I mean? I was on a flight, and they're deeply troubled people. And they just need a cuddle, man. They need a hug. They need some love. They need a good person to sit them down and go, look, you can be a little bit too much, man, and you've got some little things going on for you. Look, just maybe talk to someone about it and iron them out. You're not broken. You don't. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not a bad person. You just got some issues. You just need to talk about it with someone. You know what I mean? You got a few things you need to sort of just weed out a little bit. And but I went through a series of stag do's in my 20s, going into my 30s, because everyone seemed to be, getting pinned down and married off. Uh, Not all of them are still in that marriage, may I add. And but I went through a series of being like a wedding tourist. I was the person. Is that the right word? I was going on.
Yeah.
I was like the bystander of seeing all my mates and other people getting married, and I'd get invited to the stag do. And we did a bit of a Euro tour, not on one stag do. It's like different
Mm.
stag do's. It was like that whole thing that all stag or hen parties do, where you end up going to some far off land in Europe somewhere, and for a weekend,
Mm.
to the horror of all the ladies in
Yep.
their lives at that time.
And to all the ladies that exist in that place you were arriving at. Yeah.
Yeah, oh my God. But we went to some places, man, and God, did we upset some some people in them places. But I remember taking one flight home from somewhere in Eastern Europe, somewhere. We was on the whole flight. Must have been a 3.5, 4 hour flight. The whole flight. We had the dude, the one who was the hindrance, the liability, absolute nightmare, catastrophic. We're on the subject of catastrophe. That dude was the crazy maker. I'll tell you. We put him in the. I don't know how we got away with this, and we did get threatened by the staff. But back then, I don't know. We somehow got away with putting him. He was in the toilet, and we basically how do you say?
Barricaded bear. Barricaded.
Barricaded the door. We basically had someone manning the door the whole flight, so he couldn't get out. We kept him in there the whole time. That's legit. I'm not lying. That happened on the flight.
Right. Okay.
And in hindsight, it's like, how did we do that? That's
Yeah.
legit. So, because that guy was so, and I think they recognised, maybe this is why, because they recognised that we were doing the whole flight a favour by
Hmm.
keeping him in there. Maybe they didn't have any handcuffs to tie, to cuff him to the seat. And anyone listening to this who's with me, and I've got a feeling there might be a couple of people that might be listening, you know exactly what flight that was and exactly who it was. And it happened too. It was mad. Anyway, that sort of catastrophic behavior can play out. It's not just our thinking.
Mm.
It's how we conduct ourselves, you know.
Okay. So question number two then.
Oh God.
Uh, is there an event that you can think of right now in your life that plays out like you it comes up in your head maybe
Mm.
every other week, or it's something that's like an event that's happened in your life and it plays over and you're like, I wish I could go back and do that again. I wish I could, like you said, like you, it's something negative that's happened that you just want to revisit because you wish you could redo it, relive it and play it a different way.
Well, I can't, so you have to accept that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little bit of a windy pot there as I was talking. Yeah, I've had to. One thing I've, and this is what therapy granted me, as much as just a lot of other stuff that I've done. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just for myself, um, for my quality of life that I live. You know, and just being not governed by, you know, um, self-critical thinking, overwhelm, catastrophizing everything that is so in my life that isn't actually catastrophic. It's just me making it so, you know.
Yeah.
So it starts as a thought or a feeling, an emotion, and then I will manifest it and literally create it. You know, um, I mean, it's one of the four noble truths of Buddhism. Like the first noble truth is there is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the second one is there's the start of suffering. So that's our part. What's our part in that? Because it's always our part is usually the part that we miss. It's like it's everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I'm thinking catastrophic thoughts is because the world is a mess. Well, no, it's your relationship to how you see the world. Stop watching the news. Stop obsessing on everything about all of the bad things that are going on in the world and start focusing on what's good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your part. Stop doing it. You're creating your own suffering. You know, there's always a starting point and an end point to suffering. And what's our part in it? So to answer your question, I've studied not just what I just said there, but with therapy and other sort of techniques, I've understood that I can cease to for, I can cease to um, participate in perpetuating past events that have already played out. I don't need to keep playing them out in my mind to create new experiences based on those past events that have already
Mm-hmm.
played out and I can't change. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I've had to learn about that and to know that like I was saying about the Buddhist noble truths, um, I'm not Buddhist, by the way, just to put that out there. You know, I just really believe in uh, the formulae to what they how they change their experience. You know, it's a really potent, simple formula to work with. It's really, really quite potent. You know, it's not rocket science. It's really simple. um, so there's loads of things in my story, loads of things, too many things to name. Um, where there were things, early life catastrophes that played out that were incapacitating and debilitating and consumed me with all sorts of emotions that I was ill equipped to deal with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Powerlessness, you know, they all put me in a place of powerlessness. They all made me feel entrapped, enslaved, in bondage. And if you haven't listened to last week's episode, bondage, go and listen. You know, many crossovers in what we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
always on the TVR. Um, so there's loads, there's too many.
Okay.
You know, I can give you the token, oh yeah, you know, I got really badly humiliated when I was a kid at school. Well, not just once, multiple times. That's what you get for going to an all boys school.
Yep.
You know, in the 1980s, going to the early 1990s. That's a given. That's part of the fucking deal. Is you're gonna get humiliated, not just by the fucking your peers, but by your teachers.
Yeah.
That's part of the deal.
Mm.
And they humiliated us, we humiliated them. You know, it's just a big free for all of who can humiliate who, the best, and we became good at it. You know, it's survival of the fittest. So there's that one. That's a big poison thorn that was stuck in my psyche, metaphorically speaking. You know, so that stuff is very potent, very poisonous, and you get triggered in adult life, and boom, that poison gets released, and you're straight back in that classroom being humiliated. Yeah. Then
Mm.
you've got the rejection, you've got the abandonment, you know, all of the things that go on. It's all of these different components, elements to the creation of my experience through my lived experience, you know. Every single one of them formed me to be who I became. And then you throw into the mix what I said earlier about when you feel certain things that you can't handle, you then reach out for certain things to cope with it. Enter chemical experimentation, aka getting fucked out your fucking noodle on a regular basis, you know, to suppress the the suffering that you feel. Going quite deep, aren't I?
Mm.
So, you know, there's the starting point. The things that happen to us, like you asked me, and do they still hold power over me? No, they don't. The doctor at the end of the road who saw me on my bike, you know, it was a fleeting thought of, oh no, he's looking at me in a really disapproving face. And I actually laughed. I laughed at him because I sort of laughed, thinking, oh no, he's caught me, you know. But you know, it didn't debilitate me. I wasn't triggered. It wasn't like I went back to, you know, a past event that was incapacitating for me. You know, it's just it holds no power over me. Yeah. So I can't really answer that in any other way other than how I answered it,
Yep.
if that makes sense.
Mm.
What about you, Mr. Rice? What are your thoughts on it? What's coming up for you?
Well, I mean, I think the reason I asked that was because I can think of certain events that will play out in my head, will come back, and it's very often like a very powerful negative experience that comes back into my head, and I'm like, I wish I'd had more about me at that point. I wish I'd known what I know now. I wish I'd had the energy and the wherewithal to just sort of deal with that in a different way. Um, and I think a lot of it comes down to maturity, comes down to confidence, comes down to sort of knowing yourself and having a much more solid sort of solid sort of idea of who you are. So you're not worrying about the outcome. You're not worried about other people's opinions. But I think it's very debilitating. I think it's like you said, I don't think there's many people out there that don't walk into a space and are worrying about I'm being viewed in this way, people are thinking about me this way, people are going to judge me. You know, there's automatically, I think we're all in that kind of space of, worrying about what it is that we're going to
Well,
go on. Sorry.
sorry. No, keep going. I remember what I was going to say. Keep going. I'll
um,
interrupt you.
and I think at times it has been debilitating for me. It has been like I'm so crippled by self-doubt that if I think that anyone else is going to add another level or another layer onto that, it's like, right, I will take the easy option, is I won't do that.
Yeah.
And I think in the past, there's, you know, that confidence, so like you said, confidence comes from uh not being yourself, and to not be yourself, you need to add other things into the mix, and there's,
Mm.
and not exist at that, as the person you want to be. You need to, fuel yourself with alcohol or whatever you choose to do to try and get that sort of fake confidence, but then you end up being something that you're not.
Just end up being a twat.
Yeah.
So, yes, everyone listening, you end up being a twat. Um, so what I was going to say was, firstly, the reason it's so amplified, like, why are we so fucking like on tenterhooks all the time, so sensitive? Why do we take things so fucking personally? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh, Social media. Fuck you, social media. All right, for all your pros, the biggest con of it all is it's turned everyone into fucking maniacs. It has.
Yeah.
We're so obsessed with fucking ourselves and everyone else, and we're so fucking obsessed with, oh god, you know, oh, did you see fucking Pete down the road's gone and bought a new fucking sponge for his car, and he's lavering it with his little cut off jean shorts on. Like, I don't know why I said that. That's a
No.
bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Like Daisy Duke, you know.
yeah, yeah,
But you know, I'm trying to come up with something a bit abstract, which is completely fucking stupid,
yeah.
because it is.
Mm.
Like, why are we so obsessed over what Pete down the road's doing with his sponge with his cut off jean shorts on? Like, who gives a fuck? Yeah, like, and why do we give a fuck that our life, that I haven't got my sponge yet, and I haven't got my cut off jeans on, and I'm not lathering up my fucking car with my wet sponge? I get my swearing Tourette's on when I get all passionate, don't I?
Yeah.
But like, but it's for effect. I'm trying to get a point across. Why do we get so caught up in it? Why are we so invested in it? Why?
And why has that become amplified? I love that word that you just used, because that's how it feels in my head, is an event from, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 years ago, is still echoing around my head, sort of getting louder and louder. And at certain times, it's just like it takes over.
It's
And it's,
Spinal Tap 11, mate.
yeah. And it's just like, I wish I could get rid of that thought, that energy, that event in my life, because I had no control over it at the time.
Yeah,
I had no control over the other human being that humiliated me or made me feel, you know,
yeah.
small or insignificant and completely put me down. But it's still there, and it still sits there. And like you said, at this moment in time, we have become, as a society, and definitely the young people out there have become even more
They're mental.
obsessed,
Yeah,
and more, it's just isolated people even more.
yeah.
This, rather than have a situation where we have these tools, which is what they should be seen as, tools that we can communicate with or connect with people. Instead, they've become tools uh, to make people feel worse.
And there's a level of addiction to it, all right? We
Yeah.
are totally gone on it. I say we, I'm not, but there's a huge slab of people that are, all right? And I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who's not entangled in it. You know, I've chosen, because it is a choice, to detach from it. So can we please vow, and we've already done this, so I don't need to do it, but just as a preamble, um, the Instagram feed that we're going to be putting out is going to be purely a toolbox, right?
Yeah,
There's going to be stuff there that if you were to follow it, there's going to be some guides, some lifelines, the paddles, the oars, the fucking inflatable raft, the whistle, the life jacket,
yeah.
the fire lighter, the wood, the rope, the knife, everything you need to be on your island, right? It's all going to be
it's
there. We're even
it's
throwing in coconuts.
yep. It's not going to be Dave washing his bike in his shorts with a sponge.
Well, that we might have to do that if we need to up the followers, because that's kind of what people do on Instagram. For fuck's sake, is I'm sick and tired of another person showing me a Pilates or yoga instructor with a cheese wire for underwear, wearing fucking like the skinniest of little fucking pants, or knickknacks, whatever you want to call them. You know, some you know, it's just no. Just go on OnlyFans if that's your game. Like, what are you doing? It's like, are you a yogi or are you a porn star? You know? Make your mind up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, people playing the game, mate. Hustle, hustle, graft, graft. You know, people are doing what they got to do to survive in this world. They want to be seen. They want to be heard, and that's the thing. We get debilitated and we go into our critical thinking, our overthinking, and our overwhelm, and our self hatred dialogues, and all of this stuff, because ultimately, like I was checking in with, I just want people to like me,
Yeah, yeah.
and but why am I handing over that sacredness to complete strangers on the internet? Doesn't make sense. So for me, I cultivate my sense of self-worth, self-esteem, confidence, healthy pride, all the good stuff. I cultivate that through interpersonal, one-to-one, in-person, intimate relationships with the people that are in my inner circle in my life, man. And outside of that, you know, when new people come into the mix, you know, you gotta it's a very sacred space to getting to know someone, and you know, no rush, take your time.
I was going to say that there's like in terms of letting new people into your circle, like that you talk about that idea of that you can have your people on, is it one hand, like you should have five people of that should be your
Yeah,
your go-tos,
5, 10,
that
5.
but I think it's a tool someone's talked to me about, the psychotherapist has done with them, in
Yeah.
terms of name the five people that would be your people if things got really tough for you. Who would be the five that you could really count on? And if you've got five, you're absolutely smashing it, kind of thing. It's like, and that idea of discernment, like that anxiety about wanting to be liked, about wanting to to walk into a space and meet people and go, oh yeah, he's all right, he's a nice guy, he doesn't do things wrong, sort of, all of that. But there's also, you walk into a space and you don't know who those people are. You don't know whether you like them, kind of thing. It's that it's that sort of catastrophizing in your head already, that, oh my God, it's all going to be about me. Those people are going to be thinking about me and the fact that I'm wearing something that they think's ridiculous, or I look stupid, or that something I say is going to really upset them, and creating this sort of drama before it's even unfurled, and not even, and being, it's an ego thing, isn't it? It's like
It's fear of judgment.
yeah, but it's also the idea that, oh my God, those people are going to be thinking about me.
Yeah.
And actually, they're all going to be thinking about themselves.
They don't give a fuck about you, really. They've got no. why would they? They don't give a
Yeah,
fuck. Why would they? They're too busy thinking about themselves,
yeah,
like we
but
are.
yeah, but you end up worrying. Sorry, you. I end up worrying about. Oh my god, I said the wrong thing. I've done the wrong thing. I end up catastrophizing and thinking that yeah, that it's that I've gone away leaving. I that I've done something wrong.
All right. So at the root of it, and rewind and bring it back to, it's like the why. Why are we? And how do I change it? What is the, how do we change this? Why?
Mm.
Why? And how? We know what we're talking about the what. Um, so I mentioned addiction, and I'm going to use the term, the word trauma, right? Which is, it's all over the internet now, and all of it, everything's trauma and everything's addiction. Having been in this space for many, 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 many years, knowing how powerful trauma and addiction is, and knowing
Mm.
a lot about it, um, it really is at the root of it is there's a level of addiction. We're addicted to our narrative. We're addicted to controlling our narrative. We're addicted to our thinking, good or bad. You know, um, the narcissist is addicted to uh, a grandiose, inflated ego. They're addicted to it. They're self-obsessed. And in the chronically depressed person is really addicted to their identity of being chronically depressed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and and there's so much more on that broad spectrum of wherever you are placed in that. There's addiction to our experience, whether
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like it or not. There's definitely addiction related because of the world we live in and how we live. Unless you are living in a beautiful, very primitive way, and you're just out there on your bike doing the bike packing, which I'm learning about. Yeah, getting your little two-man tent set up on the back of your rack on your bike, got your
Yeah.
saddlebags, and you're just cruising across the globe, living off the land, wild camping and building fires and catching food and, you know, simple life. But then you're going to probably be very addicted to maintaining that lifestyle as well. So there's a level of addiction, I think, to everything that we are in life.
And would you be worrying as you're cruising around on your bike? Oh, you meet someone else and they've got their bike, and you're like, oh, their bike's better than mine,
Of
or they're going to think
course,
I'm ridiculous because I haven't packed my bike quite right,
of
or I haven't got
course,
the right wooden spoon, or the
of course. Yeah, like I'm already anticipating that I'm going to be the newbie on the road with my L plates on. And I'm already like, I don't want my L plates on. So I'm already anticipating that. But I'm not attaching to it. It's not like I'm like obsessing over it, going, "Oh no, what am I gonna do?" None of that. It's just I've I've learned to just laugh at it and
Mm,
not take myself so fucking seriously.
yeah.
That's it. That's the key to all of this. Is not take it so fucking personally and don't take yourself so seriously or life so seriously. Chill the fuck out. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a fucking break. Give your brain, your thinking, give your mind a break. You know. And the other thing I was going to say, just quickly, Ben, was trauma.
Trauma.
So,
Okay.
being at an all boys school, being humiliated and bullied,
Mm-hmm.
etc., etc., it whittles away your any self esteem you may or may not have had to begin with going into school, which mine was very low anyway
Yeah.
because of stuff that was going on outside of school.
Hmm.
So I had low self-esteem and low sense of self-worth and confidence. I had very low levels. Well, they weren't moderate, they weren't healthy, they were low. So going into the school, any sense of it went at the mercy of that school and the teachers and my peers. It went. So there's a level of trauma there,
Mm.
PTSD. There's some residual, and residual means there's just there's some there lurking. Residual, there's a little bit there, right? It's like if you go out, um, um, you go out somewhere, off-road biking. I'm gonna have to use that. Sorry, I'm just where I'm at with stuff at the moment. I'm not really obsessed about this. Um, and you go off-road biking, you come back to your yard or your drive or your bike shed or your garage. You get back, you get off your bike. There's some residual dirt on the tires on the bike.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's trauma, right? We have that. We have residual trauma. But then for some of us, we haven't dealt with any of the trauma. We haven't worked on reducing any levels of PTSD. So it's not residual, it's actually high levels of PTSD that are still in our nervous system. And that is what is getting activated every time someone triggers us. All right. So I'm downtown and someone jumps the queue and I'm back at school when matey nicked my satchel or whatever. You know what I mean? Or he beat me to the dinner queue and I had to starve at lunchtime. No, that's the wrong word. I shouldn't use that word. But I went hungry. I didn't get to eat
Mm.
at lunchtime because old freaking Kevin McLeod nicked my fucking dinner spot.
What, the guy from Grand Designs?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but I just
Okay.
picked that out. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Kevin McLeod, the pesky little fucking bugger, nicked my dinner spot. So, you're in town and someone jumps the queue as an adult, if you've got high levels of trauma that you've not dealt with, you're going to get psychosomatic reaction to it.
Mm.
And it can be incapacitating. And a lot of us are walking around in adult life being triggered constantly by our past.
Yeah.
We're enslaved to that shit. We're not free. So there's work to do. We need to look at trauma reduction, PTSD workshops. You can do it one to one or do it in groups. Go online. There's loads out there. There's loads you can choose from. There's no right or wrong. Some will cost you loads of money, some won't. But if you are walking around life being triggered and sensitive and you're catastrophizing, it's quite probable, my humble opinion, and it is only my humble opinion, at the root of it, there's some deep rooted, like I call it, like I said, the poison thorns of our youth, of our childhood, or life in general. There's some poison thorns that are stuck in our psyche, metaphorically speaking, and they're poisoning us, and we need to pull them out and,
Mm.
and purge them and reduce the power they hold on us. Until we do that, we're going to be a nervous wreck
Yeah.
because our nervous system is not operating in a healthy. It's not working properly.
Mm.
It's not able to. So that's why, and that's how.
Mm.
How do you do it? Well, just said. That's what I think, anyway.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because if you think, I mean, I know where you went to school, so I mean I know the boys' school that you attended, and I think about how school tries to strip away the individual. I think in a lot of ways it becomes a sort of,
What
popular
the,
education is all about, uniform
yeah,
times, timetables. It's all about conforming. Yeah, so it's about, you're all meant to look the same. There's not meant to be the possibility of you uh being an individual and being different and conforming uh and trying to buck the system.
I didn't
And
sign up to that.
no, but it's interesting that ultimately you've come full circle in that. And this is what if you look at, if you were to become like a Buddhist, if you were to go and become a monk, the first thing you do is you shave your head and you put the robe on.
And get rid of your name.
Yeah. And it's like, I lose, you get rid of that sense of self. That's what
Mm.
and you lose the ego.
Yeah.
And it made me think of David Lynch, who, and I hadn't really thought about it, but obviously he was a Buddhist, and he was very into his meditation, but his wardrobe consisted of 7 black suits and 7 black shirts. And it's like he removed that issue of like, what do I wear in the morning? What do I want to be today?
Yeah.
What uniform am I going to put on? It's like, actually, no, these are my robes, these are my clothes of choice, and this is how I'm going to look, and I'm going to do that every day of the week, and just lose that issue that we have with, it's almost like a, decision every day is like, about who do I want to be.
Who am I
Yeah.
today?
Yeah. What, it's like Mr. Ben going into the shop and putting
Yes.
on a different uniform, and deciding today he's going to be a different role and a different job. And it's, yeah, I find that very interesting, this whole idea of conforming and removing that sense of self,
Yeah.
because then you lose that catastrophizing, oh my god, idea of, oh my god, what people going to think of me. Well, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've shaved my head. I am not important.
Yeah. And that's for all of us
Mm,
because that's the reality for everyone. That is the reality for everyone. We are, there is no self. There is no self. Yeah, you mentioned about the whole Buddhist thing. I studied it for about 5 years. When I first started to look into, when I started to, go down the rabbit hole of self development and self awareness and who am I? Really, who am I?
mm,
And I studied it, and yeah, anatta it's called, I think, if I remember rightly, which is no self. It's non identification with the form of who we think we are. So you know, I'm just the soul. You know, I am not who I think I am. No one is. It's ridiculous when you think about it. It's absurd when you really sit with it and you really sit with yourself and you really lose any sense of who we think we are, and we just sit and be. You do realize that this is why you do just most people that are very um, centered in that self-awareness of knowing that it is absurd to think that we go around with these egos thinking we are this or we're that. Most people I know who are like that, they are, and I'm one of them. We just don't take things seriously anymore. We don't take ourselves or life seriously anymore because you know that it's ridiculous to do that,
mm,
and it's a beautiful thing. So I'd encourage anyone to really explore what we're talking about, the concept of no self. Some people do it in a full on, which I did contemplate to do, but I didn't do it um, fully, But to go and yeah, shave hair off, not identify as my birth name, and just choose a name that you want to be called.
Steve.
Steve.
Steve the Buddhist monk.
Why Steve?
I was just trying to think of a
There's
name
nothing
that
wrong
was,
with Steve. He just took me off
absolutely
guard.
not, but it's just Steve
It's
the Buddhist monk doesn't sound right. It's got to be some
yeah,
sort of,
that's like a cat name.
yeah.
If it's like the human cat name. And then you yeah, like you get rid of all things that are material from the material world, and you just be.
Mm.
It's very threatening to some people. That's really like that's stupid, or why do you want to do that, or that's not fun. But anyway, look, I was just going to look up catastrophic in the book, um, just to see what it says in the big book of words, man. Catastrophic. Maybe I should have looked it up before I started to announce that I'm going to read it. Catastrophic.
I mean, the whole vibe you're creating now with you sitting in this chair with a book, it almost feels like Jack and Ori. It's nice.
Oh, shall I read you catastrophic in a Jack and Ori way? I don't know how
Yeah.
they would do that. Um, Catastrophic. I'm struggling to find it.
Oh.
Catastrophic. Oh, got it. Right. Okay. So this says catastrophe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sudden event causing great damage or suffering. And catastrophically, origin Greek for catastrophe with a K. Not
All
sure
right.
it's pronounced like that in Greece. Means overturning. So I don't know what that really. What what I don't really get that. Do you get that?
No.
But great causing great damage or suffering. We know this anyway. So there's no great revelation there with that. So well done, um,
But I guess I mean, it's
book of words.
the suddenness, isn't it? I guess in that's what it's alluding to is there's a suddenness to the terrible event.
But is there really, is there really, is there,
mm,
is there though? Because some people, I was one of them, I feel, was kind of stuck in that mode of being, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
I definitely know that I was stuck in
it's not,
in a sort of perpetual life of creating dramas. If something wasn't going wrong, looking back on it now, I would create an event that would subvert that and make it happen. So yeah, I think unless it's a natural disaster, or an accident or something that you is out of our control, there are times I feel that I can create the catastrophe, I can create the event in my own life
yeah,
with the connections with other human beings.
yeah. So I think we need stability. I think we need stability.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was using I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna attempt to recall a really unexpected sort of like metaphor that I came up with. So please forgive me if I've stolen this from somewhere and just subconsciously took it on, but I don't think I have. And I might have mentioned it on here before. Do you know what a Jesus nut is?
No.
Have you heard of that?
No.
So anyone at home listening, I don't know if anyone knows what a Jesus nut is. So did you just suddenly did your heart skip a beat when I said that Jesus nut? You're like,
Well,
oh, I've not had them before. Oh, I'm
you
gonna
mean
look.
my obsession with nuts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but okay. So I was talking to a young maverick
Mm-hmm.
about the importance of needing a thread of of stability. We need that. We need the spine. Like the human form, the body needs the spine. Without the spine, everything just
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't work. Whereas you could do without a femur, you could do without a collarbone, I'm pretty sure. But without the spine, it wouldn't work. Everything would
Okay.
just fall on the floor, it'd be a mess, right? Is that right? Would you say, teacher?
Well, I imagine most bones fairly essential, but the spine is probably a major part of the
It's the
structure.
thread. It's the
Yeah.
thread, right?
Okay.
That's what I'm going with anyway. So I was talking to young Maverick about this, and to avoid any catastrophic situations, the stability is, I believe, missing. Like if the mountain was stable, you wouldn't have an avalanche, maybe,
Okay.
which causes catastrophic outcomes, right? Just run with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm riffing. And so I came across the Jesus nut, and I looked it up because I was like, I heard about the Jesus nut because there was, I'm sure I heard a story where it's about a helicopter. Because a Jesus nut, you find it on a chopper, on a helicopter.
Right.
Do you know where it is on a helicopter?
Absolutely no idea.
Okay. Well, look, I'm talking about the main bolt, the thread, the main bolt that holds the thread to the rotors.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the main on the top of the helicopter. You've got the rotors and the propellers, whatever you call them. I think they're called rotors. That's their real name. Then you've got the thread and you've got the main bolt that holds it all together. That is what they call the Jesus nut. And the reason they call it that is because if it fails when you're in flight, the
Mm-hmm.
only thing left to do is pray to Jesus,
Okay.
apparently. And I've never been in that situation, and I really wish I'm never going to be in that situation. So I was talking to young Maverick about this, saying we need a Jesus nut, and it's how we, what is the Jesus nut in our lives? Do we have one, metaphorically speaking?
What the piece of uh
Yeah,
the thing that keeps us together,
yeah,
that holds us through
yes,
the travels,
yes,
the mess,
yeah,
the experiences of our lives.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Do we have it, and what is it? What does it look like? So, Mr. Rice, what is it?
um
To anyone at home listening, what is it?
well, the very fact you've called it the Jesus nut as well would suggest it is a level of faith or spirituality for me.
Maybe that's
uh
subjective.
yeah, but it's a faith uh in life, in existence, in other human beings. So
In
for me, that,
ourselves, in
yeah, in
ourselves.
ourselves
Uh,
and what we're doing in our existence. And I
that's a
just,
starting point. I think
yeah,
a starting point.
but I think if we don't have a true sense of self, a strong sense of who we are and where we fit, a purpose, is that it? Is it a purpose of like, these are my, you know, I worry about having some sort of definitive purpose. It's like, well, if I'm not doing that, then my whole life's pointless. But I do think we need to have faith in our reasons for existing.
Yeah,
And I think if we don't feel like we belong and we don't connect, then it's very easy to go into a very solitary existence. And I think that is where modern life has led us at this moment. Is it's very easy to isolate. I know that it's if things are tough, it's very easy for me to lock the door of my flat and sit on my sofa and absorb myself in Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime, Amazon Prime, whatever. It's just I'm just going to go and watch a series, can watch some movies, eat some peanuts that I'm not allowed, and just ignore the rest of the world. And there can be some doom scrolling in that. There can be a sort of, oh, I'm just going to stare at my phone for a bit, although I desperately try not to. And I don't reach out to people. I don't connect to people. I don't call people. I don't make that attempt to communicate. And it's very easy to lose purpose then, to lose a sort of why, what's the point kind of. It's very easy for me to catastrophize and
Yeah.
just go, right, that's it. I'm just going to eat all the dry roasted peanuts. I'm just going to eat all the pizza. I'm just going to watch all the stuff. I'm
Yeah.
just going to be, uh, I'm just going to block everything out. And that might sound, it's not particularly although, I mean, in the long term, it's unhealthy, but there are more obviously extreme versions of that, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, whether it's sex, whether it's, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of all that, or whether it's gambling. There are other ways of numbing out and of pretending that the rest of life doesn't really matter.
Mm. Theatre. There's the theatre of life, which we all need. I love the theatre of life, watching movies, documentaries, um, just out there in the world is the theatre of life. There's so many things to, just give us some respite from
Mm.
it all being so fucking serious and doom and gloom, just.
Do you share your birthday with David Attenborough then, don't you? Wasn't it his 100th birthday yesterday?
Was it really?
Yeah,
If I'd known that, I would have hit him up.
I'm
Could he
sure.
come for a tie with me?
Yeah.
Thai massage.
Just thinking about documentaries.
Was it really?
It's definitely been this week. I don't know if it was
Okay,
yesterday
amazing. Yeah, I don't know.
or maybe it was Friday.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Never knew that. So look, I was saying the Jesus nut. What is our thing? But it doesn't have to be a thing. It's like the pillars. Yeah, the pillars of society, the pillars of our existence. What are they? What are they? Do we have them? Is there any wonder that our empire that we've not yet got is crumbling and it's or we had an empire and it's crumbled because the pillars weren't strong. What are maybe the pillars is a better way to look at it rather than a thing like the Jesus nut on the chopper blades. Maybe you know, let me think about this. For me, let's say I've got four pillars that hold up my temple. That is my existence, my well-being, my joy of existence. What are those four pillars? One of them is purpose, definitely. What do I get out of bed for? I've got lots of things to get out of bed for, so check. I've got to make sure that I'm definitely got to make sure that pillar is strong. My purpose, my sense of purpose, my sense of, but why am I here? You know. Then the other pillars, my health.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've got to be healthy, man. Got to eat the right foods, nutrition. You know, basic stock level things that we maybe didn't get taught early on in life, or we did, but we didn't care or didn't listen, and we deviated. But we need to get back to that. Health is big. It's important. Huge, hugely important. Physical, not just mental. Physical. What's the others? Connection, community,
Hmm.
others. I need other people. I need a pack. This lone wolf needs other wolves, and they can all be lone wolves. That's great, but we need to have a group hug, man. So tick, tick, tick.
A group howl.
Oh, and then there's more than four pillars. I can have eight pillars. Why not have eight pillars? Even stronger. Greater sustainability. Sustainability. But you get the idea, you know, and that's it. That's what I feel we need to be doing. That's what I need to be doing. That's what I do. This is why I check in, week out, feeling in good spirits. I feel I've got the joy of life. I feel excited. I feel like something great's going to happen. I've got optimism, enthusiasm, passion, drive. You know, sometimes I suffer, sometimes I struggle. You know, sometimes I feel a bit down or low or upset or a little bit fearful or a little bit anxious or a little bit worried or uncertain. But it's all healthy, moderate levels, all of it. And that's for me, I couldn't ask for more. I really couldn't. And I think that's what, you know, for a takeaway from this episode is ask yourself, or maybe you already know, and it's not competition. Stop comparing lives, man. My life is my life, and I live it how I live it, and it works for me. What do you want with your life? What do you want from your life, man? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to be happy? Most people just want to be happy, and we want to feel that we belong and that we feel connected and that it was worth it. So, something to think about if you're not already doing that, and make it happen because we can. And if you really suffer and you struggle with actioning and making it happen, maybe there's a little bit of digging we've got to do to get the weeds out, you know, to turn the weeds it's perception. The weeds don't need to be dug out. They're there. That's good. They belong. But perception that they can be a beautiful flower as well. There's work to do. Maybe you need to talk to someone about it. Maybe you need to do some work on reducing your PTSD. Maybe look at some habits that don't serve you. Where am I addicted? And I need to do it with other people. I don't have to do this on my own. I don't have to be a lone wolf.
Accountability, moderation.
That's what I think, man.
Mm,
And I mean, I feel like that's all I've got to say on this one.
yeah. No, I think that's a really nice way to uncatastrophize your life,
Yeah.
because I think that's what you've done, definitely. And I think you're further along the journey than I am, but I think that's where I feel I'm going. Is it's simplifying,
Mm.
it's having a quite a much clearer idea of purpose, and it's moderation, and in doing that, it's finding people that want to live like that.
Yeah, yeah, and can I just say, it's not a race, it's not a
No.
competition. I'm a little bit further down the road from you
Mm,
because I started the
yeah,
road
yeah, yeah,
earlier, right? And that's just the way it is. And
yeah,
some people, you know, there's people that are way ahead of me, and it's not a competition. And it's not comparing journeys. It's just people start in different junctures along the way, and some people start and then they stop, and they find it hard, and then they freeze and decide not to continue that path because it's too treacherous and
yeah,
too overwhelming at the time. But you know, you just keep going. What I've learned is you just keep going, you keep going, you keep going, no matter what, you keep going. And you talk. The key for me was to not walk the path alone.
yeah,
I've got to walk the path. I'm the one walking it, but I haven't got to do it on my own. And the wisest thing you can do is speak to people who have already walked the path so you can get a little bit of heads up of, oh, I'm struggling at this bit. Oh, really? You did that? Brilliant. That gives me hope and strength. Thank
mm,
you. And support.
yeah.
Don't do it alone, man. So join us at the velvetrevolutionpod.com. Do-do. Join us. Join
Yeah,
us in communion every Sunday. Share these if you feel that they are really helping in any way, shape, or form, whether it's just for you or you think they could help someone else, share them. Please do like what we're doing. And if you're not already subscribed, there's many platforms we're on. Just hit us up, man. Like, help us help you guys, help us help others. God, I've really, it's coming naturally to me now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just flowing.
Oh no. And it is with sincerity, man. I mean this from the core of my being. You know, I know what it's like to struggle, and I still can, and I always will struggle, but I'm not in a battle anymore. You know, um, we can make it a lot easier for ourselves. We really can.
Mm.
We've just got to ask for help, man. Anyway, how was that for you, Mr. Rice?
That is all good. I I am very happy. Thank you, Mr. Noble. How about you?
Yeah, good. Feel like we've done a good slab of use of our time today. So on that note, shall we end it? Shall we?
Yep.
Shall we? Right. I've now got to try and find the stop button from afar. Okay, right. Take care. I'll see you next time.
Take care, my friend.
See you later.
Bye.